Looking back in time, an enormous space telescope that will give astronomers a peek into the early universe. It looks really beautiful with its gold-plated honeycomb mirrors. It is time traveling into the past. The telescope will show us what the universe was like 100 million to 250 million years after its formation. According to the Big Bang theory, it is believed that the universe came into existence 13.8 billion years ago. JWST will detect stars and galaxies 13.6 billion light years away, capturing light sources in the early universe and studying the formation of the galaxies. We might be on the edge of finding the answers to the biggest questions in science. The James Webb Space Telescope was in development for nearly 2 decades and is expected to create an astronomical revolution once operational. It is now ready to be launched. It is the world's largest and most powerful space science observatory ever built. Let's find out how this $10 billion high-tech telescope is going to change the way we see the universe. Named after James Edwin Webb, who was an American government official who served as Undersecretary of State and later appointed as Administrator of NASA. He overseeing each of the first crewed mission throughout Mercury and Gemini programs until days before the launch of the first Apollo mission. In 2002, the next generation space telescope was renamed the James Webb Space Telescope as a tribute to Webb.
Booster ignition and liftoff of Shuttle Endeavour with NASA's final space station crew compartment that brings a bay window view to our celestial backyard.
Houston, Endeavour, roll program. Roger, roll, Endeavour.
This was originally planned to cost $500 million and be ready for launch in 2007, according to the Atlantic reports. However, these estimates turned out to be hopelessly over-optimistic, given the enormously complex and innovative design of the spacecraft. By the time it's finally going to launch today, it will have cost almost $10 billion according to space.com. It will extend the abilities of the discovery of new galaxies and exoplanets. The Hubble telescope created a revolution in astronomy and raised new questions that required a new, different and more powerful telescope to be built. Hubble made countless discoveries after it was launched in 1990 and provided millions of images of planets, galaxies, nebulas and stars. Webb is much more advanced than Hubble telescope because of its outbreaking technology, design and its planned location in space. The space observatory's cameras are so sensitive that they can spot heat signature of a bumblebee on the lunar surface. The new telescope is equipped with sensitive cameras and spectrographs that will capture light detected into them by JWST's huge golden hexagonal mirrors. The launch of the James Webb Space Telescope will be a huge leap of faith for our technological capabilities. JWST will be placed much farther out in space and in a different orbit than the Hubble, allowing it to see greater distances. The James Webb Space Telescope will have a mission lifetime of around 10 years, and that lifetime is limited by the amount of fuel that telescope needs to maintain its orbit, and the proper function of the spacecraft itself and its instruments. The size of the Webb telescope is just huge, which created unique challenges to work on. This is why the telescope had to be designed like a gigantic high-tech billion-dollar piece of our origami to make it fit inside Ariane 5. All of these were amazingly difficult engineering problems. It has 50 major deployments including 178 release mechanisms to deploy those 50 parts, and each of them must work. After it will come to operational, it will be very exciting to see what the telescope is going to discover. The main goals of the telescope are to search for the first galaxies and detect the very first stars that formed right after the Big Bang. For now, we have no ideas what it will look like, and we are going to find it out. And yes, the telescope will be able to discover everything in our solar system, including the dwarf planet Pluto and other Kuiper belt objects. The Webb telescope is also going to observe Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, the moons around these planets, and comets and asteroids. All of Webb images and discoveries will be made available to the public, the same as the Hubble telescope. Now we can just wait and watch the telescope to go into space and hope that all operations go as planned. You can also see the live streaming on NASA's YouTube channel. If we crave some cosmic purpose, then let us find ourselves a worthy goal.